So it's recording now.
Cool.
Okay. So basically, this project was really general. Like it didn't really aim at anything in specific, but like the topics were like language, gender, culture, and identity. And I kind of mixed gender with identity when it related to this, because I watch a lot of a lot of different YouTubers who are transgender, and so like I'm like, okay, well, I know, like, I mean, not a lot, like not like crazy, but I know like many people and like different stories, and so yeah, that's why I felt like it was like something that I can easily talk about.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. And so okay, so okay, so I've seen your YouTube videos like from before, and I've seen you talk about how like before you didn't really like you didn't know that like you were transgender, not exactly didn't know, but you identified as something else. And so
Yeah.
like um was it because you didn't have like the background, or like what do you think changed your mind, not changed your mind, but like made you notice like how you are?
I think a lot of it is just self-discovery and experimentation. Um, I think mostly I've always known that I didn't quite feel like a girl. I've always thought that I felt like a boy, but I didn't know what that meant or that I could do anything about it. I just kind of always thought that I had to play with the hand I had been dealt until I did find out about it. Oh, there was a lot of repression, a lot of denial, but eventually I allowed myself to experiment with that and to just kind of give myself the freedom to see, if this is something that I should really pursue, if this would help with, issues that I've been having. And in the end, it did. Obviously, I ended up pursuing it.
um so like when you I did identify like as a woman that was lesbian, I believe that's what I had read, not read, seen. Is that what
Yeah,
you like were you to a certain extent happy, or like you just like you said, when you started seeing different parts of it, like you started realizing like what you really were?
there was never really a point where I felt like a girl. And even back whenever I was, dating women and stuff as a girl, I didn't identify with the lesbian crowd. Like
Uh-huh.
or like, people are really hyped to be lesbians, I think.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
I think that's awesome, but I never really got that. I never really felt that.
I feel like even just just seeing someone like that, I feel like people would automatically like see you as that kind. Like
Mhm.
um like in the situation where there's a male transitioning to a female, a lot of people will say that they're just gay, or like they're just overly gay, or they're just, they're not what
Right.
they are. And so that's what I feel like I mean, it can be seen in that way as well. And I think it's like nice that you brought up the fact that like it's not really what you felt. Like it was just you weren't like you weren't you as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
A
and
lot of people sexuality with gender, and they don't realize that those two things don't really correlate. And that's why people tend to have the idea that, if you're transgender, you're actually just super duper gay.
yeah.
When it's more about how you feel as a person and less about who you're attracted to. Those things get lumped together a lot.
Um. So you transitioned in high school, or you started to transition in high
Yes.
school?
I started my junior year of high school.
Oh wow, you were
I
like,
was 17.
yeah, you were, yeah, little tiny. That's good though. Because like a lot of people don't even do anything or do things when they're a lot older and sometimes regret it. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
but like at the same time, as being like a high school student, was there like a lot of pressure put into you? Like were you did you feel or were you like the only one in that stance, like at least in your area and stuff? Like did you ever like feel not uncomfortable, but like did you ever feel like people were just talking about you or like
Oh, definitely. I think I have a lot of answers to that question because my high school experience is a little more complicated than most people's. I actually moved away for a while and ended up going to an online school and attending that, which is, we use Google Hangouts, which is what we're using right now, so that's how I went to school every day. But I did move back to my hometown and I continued on online school until I graduated. But a lot of people from my hometown knew I was trans, they knew about my videos, and it's a very small town, so everybody knows everyone anyways. Um, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things. No one said anything about anything to my face, and now that I'm like back and kind of branching out more and more, now that I'm more comfortable with myself, I've talked to a lot more people from my high school, and like I said, still to this day, no one said anything about me being trans to my face, so it hasn't been a huge issue. And with high school, my school is very open. We did Google Hangouts, but there were other students in the class along with the teacher, and from day one, they all used male pronouns and all called me Ty, so I never had any issues there either. I live in the South, in Arkansas, in a very small town. We were actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for most churches per capita. So I feel like if I had been attending public school here, it would have been a lot more difficult for me. So I kind of lucked out there.
yeah. So like when it came to like talking to the people that you know, like you're like actually friends with, like I don't know, did your friendships change as of when you came out as that, like, or like did your friendships kind of shift, or things go wrong in the sense with your friends or with family even, like has anything like actually affect, like just in the instant, has it affected you? And like from then until now, is there a difference? Because at the beginning people might not see it as what you see it, but then as it goes along, as they see that you're actually serious about what you mean, like has it changed? What like certain people might have, I don't know if people actually did, but did it, if it did, like did it change throughout your course of 3 years?
Yes. Um, yeah, definitely. With friendships, a lot of my friends knew there was a lot going on with me before that. And when I came out, they were accepting, but I had moved away and then moved back. So we had already grown apart a lot. And since then, my kind of friend group from high school, I had 3 really close friends, all 3 girls. And I actually don't talk to any of them anymore. I guess they've all moved away to college, but even before that, when we were in high school and stuff, we just kind of fell out, not in like a bad way, but just fell out of touch. And I can tell that it was a little weird for some of the members of the group more than others. And I think that's just kind of how high school friendships are, anyways. You think you'll be best friends forever, and then you're not in each other's lives anymore, and it just kind of life goes on. But yeah, one of my closest friends, all growing up. From around the time that I came out the first time is, liking girls, we really started growing apart. She was, she was never mean about it, but I just don't think that I think it kind of made her a little bit uncomfortable from the beginning. And then, of course, like you said about, my transition and this kind of coming to fruition, changing people's thinking, that absolutely had an effect on my, family relationships. There were people in the beginning who kind of opposed certain family members who didn't want to call me Tyler, who didn't want to use no pronouns with me. But there's a certain point when I have a full beard and like I'm flexing my muscles and stuff when they can't call me she anymore, and I think that's where it got. So everyone now is cool, and at the beginning there was some opposition. So yeah, definitely the transitioning did change people's thinking, because once they see you as a guy, then they understand it. And just because I always saw myself as a guy doesn't mean I should expect other people to at first. shitty as that sounds. Oh, sorry.
No, no, it's fine. Um, do you like? Do you have anything to say for those that are like actually in starting to transition? Like, what do you have to say to them that are like might be going through it or like can't do what you did, where like you did online school and like cuz like where I mean in my area at least there's not much online school except for those students that are like behind in school. And so like
Mhm.
everyone like going to my school, I've just in my class actually. So I did a survey before doing this, and just in my class, there was okay, so it's a class of 30, and there was 5 people who were gay or lesbian, and there was one person that was transgender. And I didn't even know this myself, and I'm pretty sure like my class didn't know this. So these people are like there, like, and there a lot of
Absolutely.
people are like not even out there. So um, since this was like a secret survey, like they were I guess more open about it. So like, what do you think for them? Like, what do you say to them?
For the people first starting their transition, for the young people, realizing that this is their reality, the only thing I can say is that, like, if you plan on getting if you plan on getting on testosterone and there's obstacles in your way, be it your parents, your age, your financial situation, whatever it is, there's always going to be something at the beginning. Um, it could be that the doctors aren't getting back to you, or your therapist is making you wait 6 months because they feel like it. It could be anything. There's always a million things going wrong, and it seems like, and it always feels like some unattainable thing. It's so impossible. Everyone else is on testosterone, and you feel like you will never get there. And that's, you know, that is the hardest part of the whole transition, is just waiting to get that testosterone. And then once you start, I mean, a month seems like a long time, but it's not. When you're just doing a shot every week, and then 4 of those weeks go by, your voice is dropped, you're already getting more hair. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the changes come fast, and you see it. And even if to everyone else you look barely hitting puberty, and you're in your late 20s or whatever, you see it and you love it, and that's how you, I guess, stay motivated and stay positive. And before that, that's not there. The only thing that's there is the quest to get testosterone, and it seems like an impossible trek. But if you can persevere through that, or if you're a male to female transgender, getting on estrogen, just until you can get to the point where you're comfortable with your body, you just have to really stick through it, because you will get there. You will get to the point where you can look in the mirror and recognize that person as being you.
Um, was it okay? Because you said being on shot, which I know about. Was it like, well, for you, you might be like, oh my god, like finally I'm on it. But like, was it a hassle? Like either like the shot, like pain, or having to keep up with it. Like, um, do you wish that like there was other ways, or like easier and more convenient ways for you?
There are other ways to administer testosterone, but nothing quite as effective. I wanted the fast results. I don't have a fear of needles. I like voluntarily have gotten my blood taken and donated blood and stuff, but it's nothing. So that the shot itself, starting the shots, was something I was always just super stoked to do, super excited about. Um, and that was at first. And then it got, I kind of have gone through phases with it. There's been points where I've been afraid to do my shot. I've messed up shots and had to go to the hospital from it.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where now I have to write down my shots on my calendar because I forget, and I'll do my shot like 2 or 3 days late. Or I'll just be like, oh, it's shot day. I just really don't feel like it. Then I still have to. When at the beginning it was like I was looking forward to it. Like, here comes Thursday, it's my day, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh, it's Saturday. Did I do my shot? Nope. So it's. I think eventually, once I'm satisfied with my changes and stuff, I will go to a different form, an easier form of testosterone, albeit not as effective, but still it works.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you brought up the whole your how do you say it? How did you even say it? Like satisfied with how you look. Because I was gonna ask you also, is it what like I don't know if you were already satisfied with how you look, or like what is the point for you to be like satisfied? Like yeah, answer that first and then I'll ask you something else.
Sure, I think it's the small, wins in life. It I don't know that anyone is ever satisfied with how they look,
Yeah.
especially trans people, but it's more about finding self-love and being proud of yourself throughout the journey. I think that it is, I like how I look because I've gotten here through my own doing, not necessarily I love the way I look compared to this really good-looking guy, but I love the way that I look compared to myself in a few years ago. So that's more my answer. I'm definitely comfortable. I'm definitely proud of myself, but more to do with myself than like comparisons and other people's standards.
Yeah.
It's more all up here for me. So
Yeah. Well, I see that testosterone has done a lot of its part, but besides that, like, how much of your input have you had to do? Like, I see your mass gainer in the background, and I see like your workouts, like on your YouTube channel, your protein and all this. Like, is it a lot that you did yourself to get to this point that you are right now? Or
I mean, physically, any kind of like muscle that I have is all me. Testosterone will redistribute your fat and you'll have like more noticeable muscle tone, but obviously it helps you gain muscle. But if you're not working out, you're not going to gain any muscle. There's plenty of trans guys on YouTube even who have been on testosterone a lot longer than I do, who they don't want to work out, and that's cool, that's them, but they don't like size-wise, muscle-wise, look much different than when they started. Of course, their faces and they have the beards and the top surgery and stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of what I did was try to focus on taking away from my hips. So I thought that if I built up my shoulders and like my upper body more, then the hourglass figure would kind of not be so apparent. So that's what I've been working towards. I think that's worked a lot. And now I'm just trying to lose weight so I can show my abs.
it's a process.
Yeah, definitely.
I forgot to ask you, okay, because you were with Christy that's Christy, right? Your girlfriend. Okay, I don't want to say wrong names or like mention it wrong. You were with her throughout your entire, not your entire, but well, yeah. Were you with her like throughout your entire transformation?
We started dating when I was like 3 months on testosterone. But she knew me back in high school whenever I went to public school here. We went to the same school. So we've known each other throughout the whole thing, but she wasn't necessarily like dating me and actively in my life throughout the entire time.
Yeah. Do you think it would have been different for you if you were to have someone or a companion, a girlfriend there for you, like in the dating world, as you being confident in yourself?
I was actually dating a different girl. I had an ex who I was dating. I started dating that summer, and we were in a lesbian relationship. And then, a few months later, we're in a straight relationship. So we were dating throughout, me coming out and me starting testosterone. We broke up right before my 1 month on testosterone. We did it for like 9 months, but yeah, she was there through the entirety of it up until we broke up, obviously. Yeah. And that was nice. She was a really good support system. It was a pretty crazy relationship. But she was very sweet, very understanding about all the trans stuff, and she was straight, so like she was never into girls to begin with. I was kind of like someone that she was attracted to, just kind of happened to happen. So that was cool. So it wasn't like anything that she had to deal with, like, oh, I'm a lesbian and now my girlfriend's turning into a guy. What do I do? So it wasn't like that. Um, but yeah, she helped me feel good about myself in a lot of ways, but also she didn't sometimes. she made me feel a lot worse about myself sometimes, but not knowingly. I think that's something that just every trans person is super self-conscious, and you'll end up getting your toes stepped on at some point by anyone.
So now when you go out, this is a obvious question, but from now and like compared to before, like people don't notice it at all, right? Like
Right.
notice that you're that you were biologically born a female, and that
Right.
you're, you know, a man and stuff. So before, okay, this again to the process of you being how do I even say this? Okay, I have
Like
like,
before my transition, before I started this whole time.
yeah, and like during like at what point do you feel like people stopped noticing?
I think I started to pass completely pretty early on, earlier than most, because the only thing that was really keeping people from seeing me as a guy was my voice. Before even starting testosterone, I would get sir and he and stuff like that a lot. And then as soon as I talk, it gives me away. So it was as my voice actually changed that people started to just recognize me as a guy. And now it's to the point where I went to see my sister not too long ago, and she tells all her friends about her brother and how he's transgender and stuff like that. So I meet all her friends, and then I walk away and I come back and she's like, they just asked me if I had another brother because they didn't believe that I was the transgender brother. So that was pretty. It makes me feel good, I guess. It's nice. Nice to hear.
I forgot all my other questions.
All right.
Hold on. I literally forgot, like, I don't even remember what else I was gonna ask you. Is there anything like that you would like to say, or yeah, as of what we've had conversations on already, or like anything that I haven't covered?
All talked about passing and coming out and working out and stuff like that. I think, yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else really that I can touch on.
Yeah, that was good. That was easier than I thought. I thought that, I don't know, I thought that it was going to be a little bit harder to explain ourselves and what we want.
I think it's good. And it means a lot to me that you wanted to interview me for your project.
I think it's like so cool that you actually like responded though. Like I was like, no way, like I've like messaged like so many other people, and like some people have, higher ranks and lower ranks in YouTube, and like you're like, pretty high, and so I was so happy. I was like, yes. And then like I had seen you before, like long before, and then like I like seeing you like through different parts of your YouTube channel, And so I was like, when I went back to your YouTube channel, like just recently, I was like, oh my goodness, like you changed so much. Like, it's like so cool to me that like you're finally like what you want to be. You're like you're there at a certain point where you're like happy with yourself and stuff. So yeah, I'm like really happy for you. And
Aw, that really does mean a lot to me.
it was like super fangirling when you responded. I was like so happy. So it's like, well, at least I know that like, you know, he's happy and stuff with himself. And yeah, thank you so much again
Of course.
for your time. I mean, you didn't really have to do this at all. So like, this is like really just. It was really just a high school project thing, but I really took it personal till like you decided to actually come talk to me when I reached out to you. So
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Well, I hope that you have a good night, and I hope that the video worked out well, and that we got it all good to go.
Thank you so much. And have a good night, you too. Thank you for staying up. It's like really late over there. By the way, if I still keep this in the video, my teacher's name is Ms. Voorhees. This guy stayed up until 11, 12, 1 in the morning to film this video. So, right? Almost 1:30. So, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you. Good
I'll talk
night.
to you later.
Talk to you. Hopefully, don't forget about me. Thank you so much. No, I didn't mean it. I mean, like, don't forget, like, I was there. I was there when you were like, okay, forget it. Okay, bye.
Bye.